My mom forgot my name, and my sister still says it's not her responsibility. While I was managing meds, doctor visits, and 911 calls, my sister just sent emoji texts. Now mom's being moved into memory care, and suddenly she wants to help. Is it too late to forgive her? It started small. Misplacing her keys. Forgetting names she's known for years. Asking the same question twice in the same hour. At first we laughed it off. Oh, mom's having another senior moment. Only, she wasn't even 60. I noticed it most on Sundays. That was our routine. Brunch at her place, me, her, and my sister Emily when she felt like showing up. Mom would make eggs too early and forget to toast the bread. But she'd always have coffee ready and a playlist going from whatever decade she was feeling that morning. One Sunday she asked me if I wanted sugar in my coffee. 4 times. I smiled, answered yes each time and let it go. But that night, I sat in my car for 10 minutes before driving home, wondering if something bigger was happening, and scared to say it out loud. When the diagnosis came, it felt like being slapped underwater. Early onset dementia. I didn't even know that was possible. I thought it was something that happened in your 70s. 80s. Not now. Not to my mom, who still danced while doing dishes and knew every neighbor's dog's name. But the scans didn't lie. And neither did the neurologist who looked me in the eye and said, "This is going to move faster than you think." Emily was late to the appointment. She breezed in with her sunglasses on top of her head, sipping some green drink and offering a half smile like this was a casual update. When the doctor repeated the news for her, she nodded slowly and said, "Wow, that's a lot." Then she asked if she could still make her afternoon flight. That was the moment I knew, this was going to be mine to carry. The first few weeks were chaos. Insurance calls. Medication changes. Appointments. Paperwork. I had to Google half the acronyms and guess my way through most of the rest. I tried looping Emily in. I sent her updates. Shared a Google Calendar. Even asked if she could take mom to a follow-up appointment. She texted back 2 hours later. "I can't. Work is insane this week. You've got this though, Red Heart. You've got this." Like it was a cheer, not a cop-out. Like I hadn't just spent the past 3 nights watching mom forget where the bathroom was. One morning, mom called me crying because she couldn't find her shoes. They were on her feet. I held her while she sobbed, confused and scared, and when she finally calmed down, she looked up at me and asked, "Are you my sister?" That was the first time she forgot who I was. I called Emily that night. I was shaking, holding in tears, desperate for someone to get it. She picked up on the 3rd ring. "Hey, what's up?" I told her what happened. She was quiet for a beat, then said, "That sucks. I can't imagine." And that was it. "No, I'll come over. No, let me help." Just sympathy from a distance. Like she was watching this happen on a screen instead of inside our family. I didn't know what burnout felt like until I lived inside it. Not just tired. Not just overwhelmed. But that bone-deep kind of exhaustion that makes everything feel a little too loud, a little too sharp. Where you forget what it's like to not be bracing yourself. That's where I was, every day. I started sleeping with my phone volume on max because I never knew when mom might wander or call me in a panic. I began keeping a go bag in my car, spare clothes, medication list, snacks, because I couldn't risk being unprepared. I stopped going to yoga. Canceled dinner plans. Didn't see a movie in months. Every spare minute was used up by something else. Some new crisis, some paperwork, some long, awful hold line with her insurance. And the entire time, Emily sent me hearts. Not help. Not hours. Hearts. I tried being direct. One Saturday I called her and said, "I need you to take mom for the weekend. Just one night." Her response? "God, this weekend is packed. Could we look at next month?" Next month. Mom was already confusing the microwave for the oven. She tried to brush her teeth with hand soap that morning. I didn't even know what version of her I'd have next month. I snapped. "I'm drowning, Em. I'm not asking you to rearrange your life. I'm asking you to show up." There was silence. Then, "You've always been better at this kind of stuff." I wouldn't even know what to do. I wanted to scream. But instead I said, "Start by trying." She didn't reply. That night, I dreamt about mom walking out the front door and disappearing. In the dream, I kept calling for Emily, but she wouldn't turn around. I woke up gasping. The worst part? It didn't even feel symbolic. Just familiar. It wasn't just the forgetfulness anymore. It was her personality too. Mom, my warm, silly, always humming music mom, was getting mean. Not all the time. Just flashes. Like the time she snapped at me for hiding her phone, even though it was in her purse. Or when she told me I was a terrible cook, for making her favorite pasta, which she suddenly swore she hated. It wasn't her talking. I knew that. But it still hurt. And afterward, she'd look at me with this blank confusion, like she didn't understand why I was teary-eyed. I didn't mean it, she said once, patting my hand. You're a good daughter. You're, she trailed off. She couldn't remember my name. Just started humming again like maybe the song would cover the silence where it used to live. I finally broke down in the grocery store. Standing in front of the yogurt, trying to remember which kind she used to love, knowing she probably wouldn't even recognize the taste now. I just stood there and cried. People walked past. No one stopped. That's what caregiving is sometimes. Crying next to the dairy case while the rest of the world keeps moving. That night, I left Emily a voicemail. Not a nice one. Not cruel, but honest in the way that only sounds like anger when it's really grief. You don't get to say you're too busy. You don't get to disappear. You have a mom. She's still here even if only halfway. And one day she won't be. And when that day comes, I hope the silence you're choosing now doesn't echo too loud. I didn't expect a response. I didn't get one. The 911 call was the moment everything changed. I found her outside, barefoot, trying to climb into a neighbor's car. She thought it was hers. She was panicked, breathing heavy, insisting she had to get to work, a job she hadn't held in almost 7 years. I guided her back inside, shaking. Called the nurse hotline. They told me what I already knew. This was a progression. Wandering behavior, they called it. A sign things were moving faster. The next day I installed locks. Looked into door alarms. Signed up for a support group I'd been putting off because who has time for support when you're always on duty? Then I called Emily. Straight to voicemail. I left a message. Come. Blunt. Mom wandered into someone's yard. I had to call 911. We're at the point where I can't leave her alone anymore. I can't do this by myself. You need to help. She didn't call back. She texted. Emily, OMG, I'm so sorry. That sounds scary. I'll check in this weekend. I stared at the screen, numb. Check in. Like this was a group project and I just asked for editing help. The support group met Tuesday nights at a community center 3 towns over. I walked in late, red-eyed, undercaffeinated, and deeply skeptical. But when the woman next to me said, "My sister says she's just not a caretaker type," I almost laughed out loud. Because there it was. My life. My resentment. My exhaustion, spoken in someone else's voice. Every person in that circle had a version of my story. Burnout. Siblings who vanished. Parents who didn't remember their birthdays. Lives shrunk down to pill schedules and adult diapers and hoping your loved one doesn't run into traffic. We cried. We raged. We made each other laugh at things that shouldn't be funny. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel crazy. I felt seen. 2 weeks later, I got an email from Mom's doctor. Subject line, recommended next steps. Inside, a referral to a memory care facility. Not now. Not urgent. But soon. They were kind about it. Called it proactive planning. But I read between the lines. You can't do this alone much longer. And she can't stay safe at home forever. I closed my laptop and sobbed into my hands. Not because I disagreed. But because I agreed and I didn't want to. Because admitting I couldn't do it alone felt like failing her. But staying silent felt like drowning. I called Emily. One more time. She picked up. Hey, she said like everything was fine. It's time to start talking about long-term care, I said. There was a pause. Are you serious? Dead serious. She sighed. She's still so aware some days. Isn't it too soon? I wanted to scream. You would know that if you actually showed up, Emily. She called me by your name yesterday. Then 5 minutes later asked where that nice girl who makes the coffee went. That was me. Silence. She needs more help than I can give. I am one person. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. I'm scared all the time. And you? You get to check in like it's a favor. More silence. Then, I'm sorry. I don't know how to handle it. You're not handling it, I said. You're avoiding it. She didn't argue. Because she knew I was right. That weekend she came over. Unannounced. She brought a bag of groceries. Helped clean the kitchen. Sat with Mom and smiled while she told the same story 3 times. When I came back from the shower, Emily was sitting on the floor, eyes red, holding our mom's hand. She doesn't know who I am, she said quietly. She will again tomorrow, I told her. Or maybe she won't. That's what this is now. She nodded. Didn't say much else. But she stayed. For the first time in months she stayed. We toured the memory care facility on a Wednesday. The kind of place that smelled like lemon cleaner and soft fabrics. Calming music in the lobby. Cheerful nurses. Residents sitting in quiet groups, some talking, some staring at nothing in particular. It didn't look sad. That's what made it worse. Because it didn't feel like a hospital. It felt like a surrender. Emily walked beside me quiet the whole time. She nodded a lot. Said, when the staff pointed out security features and color-coded hallways. But her face didn't crack until we saw the room. It was small. Homey. Clean. Neutral. She touched the blanket folded at the foot of the bed and whispered, "This feels too soon." But it wasn't. It was already late. That night we sat on the porch at Mom's house. She was inside watching TV, or at least sitting in front of it. The volume was loud. She liked it loud now. Said it helped her feel present, though sometimes she confused commercials for phone calls. Emily finally said it. "I don't want her to forget us in a place we didn't choose together." And I said, "She's already forgetting us here." We didn't say much after that. Just sat there. Two daughters who wanted their mom back and didn't know where to place their anger now that there was no one to blame but time. The move-in happened a week later. Mom didn't understand it, not fully. We framed it as a place with friends, with nurses who could help her get back on track. She smiled, nodded, packed a small bag and halfway through asked where she was going again. I labeled everything, her clothes, her photos, her books. I brought her favorite mug. Her playlist. A framed picture of us from a trip we took to the coast when I was 12. Emily helped. She didn't run this time. She held Mom's hand in the car. Helped hang up her sweaters. Tucked her slippers under the bed. When we said goodbye that first night, Mom hugged us both and said, "You girls always did everything together." We didn't correct her. Just smiled, teary-eyed, and walked out before she could see us fall apart. The guilt didn't go away. Neither did the grief. But what did change was the silence. Emily started showing up. She came to appointments. Took weekend visits. Started asking questions instead of avoiding them. We still fought sometimes. Still had tension. But there was effort now. Intention. And in a situation where we had zero control, that mattered more than I expected. She told me once, "I thought I was protecting myself by staying away. But all I did was hurt you." I didn't say anything. Just nodded. Because that was enough. Mom still has good days. She remembers my name more often than not. She lights up when she hears music from the 70s. She talks about my dad like he just stepped out for groceries, even though he's been gone 5 years. She calls Emily, my friend with the nice voice. We don't correct her. She doesn't always need the truth. Just comfort. Just presence. Just us. Whoever she believes we are that day. I stopped trying to carry it all. Because the truth is, love is heavy. And carrying it alone will break you. But carrying it together? That doesn't make it easy. Just possible.